Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official grand opening of Spartanburg's Montgomery Building. I'm Alan Smith, President and CEO of Spartanburg Area Chamber of Commerce, and I am absolutely honored to be here today and really speak on behalf of a grateful community. Today is a day that a lot of people for a long, long time never thought would come. But ladies and gentlemen, the day is finally here and a Spartanburg icon is back. That's worth celebrating. This building is a community icon, is indeed representative of Downtown Spartanburg's rebirth, revitalization, and resurgence. 59 businesses in 19 months have opened downtown. Unprecedented multifamily development. Nearly 225,000 downtown visitors per month. You can feel the momentum, and the return of the Montgomery Building is yet another sign of even a brighter future for Spartanburg. I can confidently add that so long as we have people like James Backer and Tom Finnegan in our midst, that we can say without reservation that the Spartanburg story has really just begun. I really don't think I can even begin to articulate how grateful we are to James Backer and Tom Finnegan. Year after year, the talk got louder and louder about the demise of this building. In fact, this gives you some context. When I came to Spartanburg 4 years ago, we held a planning retreat and we posed this question. We said, if you had $50 million, how would you use it to move Spartanburg forward? One of my board members said, and I'm not going to say who it was, my first priority would be to demolish that albatross, the Montgomery Building. Wow. So what did a guy from Charleston and a guy from Greenville see in Spartanburg? Tom and James are visionaries, and they knew where we were, and they know where we are headed. These guys just aren't out-of-town developers. We have claimed them as our own. Earlier this week, I shared a couple emails with Tom, and this is what he said about this building. James and I are merely owners and developers. Everyone in Spartanburg has ties to this building, and we intend for it to be open and used by the people in Spartanburg now and for decades to come. That just shows you what kind of people they are. Again, we can't thank you enough for seeing this through and doing something once thought to be impossible. Thank you. So again, on behalf of a grateful community, we have a small token of our appreciation. If I could ask Tom and James to join me at the podium. James, I know how much you enjoy this. So you may have seen in Sunday's paper, this was a full-page ad in the Spartanburg Herald-Journal, and what it says is, an icon returns. James Backer and Tom Finnegan, Spartanburg thanks you. So speaking of making the possible impossible, I really have to recognize elected officials that really did what so many people said couldn't be done. We have members of City Council here, our prior city manager, Ed Memon is here, our current city manager, Chris Story. I know that we have members of County Council with us as well. In fact, we're going to hear from one in a moment. Our mayor would have been here, but he's a little under the weather, so he sends his regrets. But dozens of people before them, dozens of elected officials before them could not get this deal to work. Frankly, when others said we can't, they said we will. That took guts, it took courage, financial wizardry, whatever you want to call it. Please join me in thanking our elected officials, both at the city and the county, for their vision and their leadership in making this a reality. So I'd now like to ask our city manager, Chris Story, to come to the podium and deliver some remarks on behalf of the city. And as Chris makes his way up here, I think it's important to point out that I think it was in the 60s that Elvis actually performed in this building. So to commemorate that occasion, Chris is going to perform Hunka Hunka Burning Love for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our city manager, Chris Story.
The only way to one-up Alan would be to actually do that, but I am not, of course. Building Downtown Spartanburg is, in my opinion, the ultimate team sport. And as Alan has already referenced, we are awfully fortunate at the city to have partners that recognize the importance of downtown development and that are with us every step of the way. Among that list are some key institutional partners that are represented here today. We've referenced Spartanburg County Council, and outgoing Chairman Jeff Horton has been a tremendous ally, as has David Britt and Councilman Michael Brown and the rest of County Council. They recognize the importance of projects like this to the full region and to every corner of Spartanburg County. The strong heart of the City of Spartanburg is essential to this region, and they recognize that. Our partners at School District 7 are very close to the heart of this community, and I saw Dr. Booker is with us. Several of his board members are with us here. They are a piece of this equation that is terribly important. Spartanburg Water is a key partner in downtown development as well. They provide some of the resources that enable us to make proactive investments, like the investments we made to the surroundings of this project to make it happen. And members of our legislative delegation, I saw several of you here. We are very grateful for the things that you have put in place that make projects like this possible. Important among them, the Abandoned Buildings Revitalization Act, which was recently reauthorized, that was a key ingredient in the financial equation to making this project work. This is the ultimate team sport, and we are grateful for our team members. James and Tom have been terrific partners from the very beginning, and the city is very grateful to every step they made. I remember the phone call. There are a few folks I just got to thank, so indulge me just a minute. I remember the phone call I got from Kevin Poe. Where's Kevin? Raise your hand. Who said, I think I found somebody who might be brave enough to take on the Montgomery Building. And lo and behold, he had. Congratulations to that. Donnie Love, if there was ever an architect more suited to this project, I don't believe that there is such a thing. But Donnie has been great at every step of the way, and we're particularly thankful for him. The team at Harper, David Wise, and Kip, and Shannon, and all whose blood, sweat, and tears is in this building. You guys have been terrific to work with, and on behalf of the city, we're thankful for that. My buddy Steve Querin, who did the legal work to construct this deal. Where's Steve? We appreciate very much your keeping us all on track to get to this point. There are a number of members of the city team who have a hand in getting to this day. Buddy Bush and his team at the Building Codes Office are terrifically important. Patty Bach, Jay Squires, Tim Carter, all played a hand in the city's support of this project. And importantly, I think of the fire chief today. Chief Blackwell is back there somewhere, and I remember I was at dinner with my family one Saturday night when my phone started blowing up. And I glanced away. My mother-in-law was there, and she doesn't like my habitual phone habit. And so I under the table, looked down, and it said the Montgomery Building, fire trucks. And that's all I needed to stop my heart at that moment. But our world-class fire department was quickly on the scene, and we are on track with this project thanks to their good efforts. Former city manager Ed Mimmitt is here. Ed and I remember many meetings thinking, what if we end up owning that building that's coming apart into St. John Street and Church Street? What exactly might we do? And Ed kept the faith at every step of the way, and I'm grateful for his leadership. Christopher and Kinsley and Abby represented the city team putting this deal together, and we're grateful for them as well. Neighbors mean the world to us, and every interaction I have ever had with the folks at Central United Methodist Church about the future of their surroundings has been one where the church made every emphasis on what's best for downtown Spartanburg. And Tom Morrell is the pastor at Central United Methodist Church. Tom, we thank you for your role in this project. And finally, one point to make that I think Alan touched on, but I just want to magnify, and that is the fact that every single business leader of this Spartanburg community said to us, and some of them said it several times, please tell those guys that we have their backs. We are grateful for their investment here. We welcome their investment. We need new partners in this equation. And so I think the message from that is that the city of Spartanburg and downtown Spartanburg are open for business and welcoming of new partners. And that's been echoed in every business meeting I've been a part of for several years. And that's a testament to the disposition of this business community that I really admire. So on behalf of City Council, and many of whom I think we've got a quorum, I hope we noticed this meeting, that are with us here today. On behalf of City Council, we express again our gratitude to Tom and James. You've been terrific partners, and we look forward to continued many decades of partnership. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, and the mic remains open if you want to take me up on that offer for a performance. We'd now like to hear from County Council, and to speak on behalf of County Council, we have with us Councilor Michael Brown of District 1. Councilor Brown.
You know, it truly is an honor to be here today. Many of you know that my office, my day-to-day life as an attorney, is literally downtown, and I can look out my window each and every day at this building. As a young man growing up in this community, you know, I've seen this building go through many different phases, at times limping along just for some type of usage. I didn't mind coming here and getting a haircut when I did have hair. Obviously, I haven't missed too many meals, so the number of restaurants and different iterations that have been here, I didn't miss those either in terms of coming. But today stands as a culmination of me being a product of this community and being able to say, hey, I was able to come back and see something new, something to change, and I've been a part of it. Every time I have a chance to raise my right hand as a member of the Economic Development Committee and as a member of Spartanburg County Council, I'm just emboldened for the many possibilities that have started just in my short time for me being able to see things as a product of this community. But look where Spartanburg is today, and look where Spartanburg is going. So this is just a beautiful occasion, and I'm glad that I'm here on behalf of my fellow members of County Council to recognize this day. And with that, since I was told not to be long-winded as a politician, I will read a proclamation in celebration of the Montgomery Building restoration and grand opening. Whereas the Montgomery Building once stood as a relic of a bygone era of a booming economy, which began in the year of 1924 with the administration of President Calvin Coolidge, a time period when it was said that cotton was king, and Spartanburg, being the hub city, was at the epicenter of the textile industry. Whereas the annals of history will lend to various phases of the usage of this 10-story steel skyscraper, be it, as we've heard, the Carolina Theater being a site of legendary performances, none less than one given by Elvis Presley, to a number of different things that have come to this building, including the location of a small office that housed the political leadership for a sister of the South, as she shared her wisdom, being that of the late genteel Congresswoman Elizabeth Patterson in this building. Whereas the Montgomery Building undeniably will stand as the new silhouette of downtown revitalization, emblematic of a new era of growth for all the citizens of Spartanburg, lest we forget. Whereas the Montgomery Building has stood at the crossroads of not only two major highways, both carrying the U.S. highway designation, but in a metaphorical sense, downtown. The culmination of what this county comes together, with the city being a symbol for all of us of a prosperity not yet realized, a prosperity that continues to move forward. Whereas the Montgomery Building, which remains the third tallest building downtown, is still an icon, reminding residents, citizens, and visitors to the city of the past triumphs, the recent challenges, of course, the future possibilities. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the undersigned representative that today, Thursday, December 6, 2018, be designated as the Montgomery Building Day in the county of Spartanburg. And the city of Spartanburg, along with the developers, James and Tom, thank you so much for everything that you do. BF Spartanburg LLC are hereby recognized and congratulated on the Montgomery Building with today's grand opening. Be it further resolved that this proclamation be presented to James and Tom on behalf of BF, they are our best friends. BF Spartanburg LLC is the Montgomery Building grand opening on Thursday, December 6, 2018, dated this 6th day, today's date, signed by myself and witnessed by our new county administrator, B. Cole Alverson. Guys, come on. Thanks so much. Thanks, Alan. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Councilor Brown. We would now like to welcome Tom and James to the podium to deliver some remarks.
Well, first, thank y'all all for coming today. It's an amazing day. When we first started this project, in the back of your mind, you always think about what the building's going to look like and how things are going to come together. But it's very different when it actually happens. And the building's turned out more amazing than I ever could have dreamed, or I think a lot of us ever did. And I just remember thinking back when we first walked through this arcade that the ceiling was falling in, there was trash everywhere, the plaster was falling off, most of the capitals that you see were busted, and just to be able to recreate this and bring it back together has been quite a journey. There's been a lot of people that have helped make this happen. I remember when we first came to Spartanburg and I met Kevin, and we started the journey of trying to put this thing under contract. And ultimately we had to fly down to Orlando, Florida to meet with the owner, and had a great meeting, came back, submitted an offer, and we still didn't have it under contract. And then we got it, and it was kind of, at that point I realized that we had caught the tiger by the tail, and now we actually had to do something. So, very thankful to the city, because when we first got here, no one really knew who we were. So Ed and Chris, City Council, County Council, took a risk on us, and really brought everything together with the development agreement, and that was a huge help with the Bailey bill. And then I know a lot of you here, it's been amazing building friendships with you, and there's a lot of people here that have helped make this building happen. And without your help, we wouldn't have been able to do it. Want to especially thank McCutcheon Engineering, McMillan Paz & Smith, and Harper. We faced a lot of challenges. We've overcome a lot of things, and it's been an honor to watch y'all grow and watch the team grow and come together. And in closing, I just like to thank my family and my wife, especially Elizabeth. There was a lot of sleepless nights, and she definitely hung in there with me, so I appreciate that. So thank you. I'll let Tom speak.
Once again, I'd like to reiterate a lot of what James said, that we are thankful for everybody we've met in Spartanburg. It's really hard to believe. If you had seen this arcade, for those of you who did, 2 years ago, this place just looked like a complete disaster. There was pieces falling off onto the playground next door in the church. And James comes to me and says, "We should buy this." I said, "Are you kidding me?" Go down to the basement, it looks like something out of Friday the 13th, and you keep going on. We buy it, a fire happens, and he tells me the retaining wall doesn't work, then he tells me all the panels have to come down. So I have to keep calling my banker and saying, "Do you think you can just give us a little bit more money? We need to get this thing done." Anyway, it's been a great journey. It's been a long, hard, but fun journey, and I think the partners that helped us through this were really, they're very material and made this happen. We couldn't have done this all by ourselves. And I think I'd like to also thank a couple people as well too. Ed Mimmitt, I know he thought we were half crazy when we came in to talk to him originally, but he believed in us, and Chris Story has continued that. Without the city council, without county council, we couldn't have gotten this done. I have to thank Steve Quaren, Doug Johnson, Charlie Roundtree, and all the representatives here from this area. The Spartanburg Council got together, and the representatives got together and made this happen. We couldn't have done this deal because we needed tax credits to get this deal done. The historic tax credits are such a key piece of this, and until you get involved in this stuff, you don't realize how complex they are, and they pull through for us on that, so we really appreciate that. But I also have to say Buddy Bush, as many times as he came out here and gave us guidance, it was very helpful, and he worked with us on a lot of things. He's another one that we couldn't have done without. The fire department also, they saved us when the place caught on fire. Thank God for them. David Wise, I'm sorry I call you all hours of the day. I'm sorry you have to worry about all the stuff, you can call me and ask me if things are okay, but yep, they're okay. We did it, and we got it done. Thank you for that. The McMillan Pazin team, thank you for putting everything you did. And I need to also thank Kip Cox and Nick, both. They've been around here all the time. Any questions we had, any issues we had, good or bad, they let us know as well too. I think finally, the last couple of people I think that are important, James also said as well too, is family. I've been on the road a lot up here, spent a lot of time up here. Actually, before I get to them, let me thank one other people. I have to thank Sam Irwin and Earl Harding. They're the bankers of the Iberia Bank. We talked to a lot of different bankers, and before we got Spartanburg out of our mouth, and most of them, they said, "No, sorry, we won't do the deal." These guys took a chance on us, and we really appreciate that. They've been partners with us all the way through, and without them, this piece wouldn't happen. But lastly, I would like to thank my family. A lot of long days, a lot of long hours, a lot of times away. I think y'all see this is all worth it, and you can see that I really don't have a girlfriend named Montgomery. This is actually a real life. Anyway, I think we're very happy to be able to turn this building back over to the people of Spartanburg. I think it's now going to be able to see the beauty that it once was in the 20s. It's going to thrive, and it's going to shine again. Thank you all for coming. It's very humbling to have you all here. Thank you so much.
All right, so let's make it official by cutting the ribbon. If we could get Chris Story and Michael Brown to join us as well, that'd be great. Do a pose one first. We'll do the action shot in a minute. All right. 1, 2, 3. And so you're now invited to enjoy the return of this icon by joining a reception. Thank you.
Great job. That's all right. As long as I got him. Get in.